Everything you think you know about cats is probably wrong. 55 facts about cats that will completely change the way you see them. Cats do not always land on their feet. They need enough height and time to rotate their body using the righting reflex before impact. Milk is actually harmful to most adult cats because they are lactose intolerant, and drinking it commonly causes diarrhea and stomach pain. Cats do not purr only when happy, they also purr when stressed, injured, or in pain, using it as a self-soothing and even healing mechanism. A cat's purring produces vibrations between 25 and 150 Hz, a range scientifically associated with promoting bone density and tissue repair. Cats are not fully nocturnal. They are crepuscular animals, most naturally active at dawn and dusk, not in the dead of night. Indoor cats still have a strong need for mental stimulation and physical activity. Boredom can lead to destructive behavior and serious health problems. Cats do not have 9 lives. This saying is a cultural myth with no biological basis, believed to have originated from ancient Egyptian beliefs. A cat rubbing its face on you is not just affection, it is scent-marking behavior, depositing pheromones from facial glands onto you. Cats cannot taste sweetness because they lack the gene responsible for the sweet taste receptor, making sugary foods unappealing to them. A cat's rough tongue is covered in hollow, backward-facing spines called papillae that act like a comb and help distribute saliva deep into fur. Cats do not sweat through their skin the way humans do. They release heat mainly through their paw pads and by panting in extreme situations. Black cats are not actually unlucky. In many cultures such as Japan and Scotland, they are considered symbols of good fortune and prosperity. Cats are not solitary by nature in all cases. Feral cats commonly live in cooperative colonies, especially when food resources are abundant. The belief that cats hate water entirely is wrong. Breeds like the Turkish Van and Maine Coon are known to enjoy swimming and water play. Cats do not age 7 years for every human year. The ratio varies greatly by life stage and slows considerably once a cat reaches maturity. A cat showing its belly is not always an invitation to pet it. It signals trust, but touching the belly may still trigger a defensive reaction. Cats are not colorblind. They see blues and greens clearly but have reduced ability to distinguish reds and oranges compared to humans. Declawing a cat is not the same as trimming nails. It involves amputating the last bone of each toe and causes lasting physical and behavioral pain. Cats do not eat grass only when sick. They do so instinctively to aid digestion, add fiber to their diet, and help expel hairballs naturally. A hissing cat is not necessarily aggressive. Hissing is primarily a defensive warning signal used to avoid confrontation rather than to start one. Cats do not have poor memory. Studies show they have a short-term memory lasting up to 16 hours, which is stronger than that of dogs. Whiskers are sensory organs connected to the nervous system that help cats detect spatial information and changes in air movement. A cat's noseprint is unique to each individual, similar to a human fingerprint, and can theoretically be used as a form of identification. Cats do not meow to communicate with each other as adults. Meowing is a behavior developed specifically to communicate with humans. Catnip does not affect all cats. Roughly 30 to 50% lack the genetic trait that makes them respond to nepentolactone, its active compound. Cats are not low-maintenance pets. They require regular veterinary care, mental enrichment, social interaction, and proper nutrition to stay healthy. A cat kneading with its paws is not a sign of aggression. It is a comforting behavior rooted in kitten nursing and signals deep relaxation. Cats do not sleep out of laziness. They sleep 12 to 16 hours a day to conserve energy as evolved ambush predators requiring intense bursts of activity. Outdoor cats have a significantly shorter lifespan. Studies estimate they live 2 to 5 years, versus 12 to 18 years for indoor cats. Cats do not see in complete darkness. They need at least some light, though their eyes are far more efficient in low light than human eyes. Cats do not always land safely from extreme heights. Falls from very high stories can cause severe internal injuries even without visible broken bones. Cats are obligate carnivores. They cannot thrive on a vegetarian or vegan diet because they need nutrients found only in animal tissue. Taurine is an essential amino acid cats cannot synthesize on their own. Deficiency leads to blindness and heart disease without sufficient meat intake. Bad cat, look what you did! Cats do not feel guilt after misbehaving. What owners interpret as guilt is actually fear or stress responses to the owner's tone and body language. A cat slowly blinking at you is a known sign of trust and relaxed contentment. Researchers have confirmed it initiates positive social exchanges. Cats do not have retractable dew claws. Only the main claws retract using elastic ligaments, while dew claws remain semi-extended at all times. Even short indoor falls can fracture bones and injure organs. The myth that cats always land safely causes owners to underestimate fall risks. Cats do not detect earthquakes through a sixth sense. They likely sense ground vibrations and infrasound through their sensitive paws before humans can. A cat's third eyelid, called the nictitating membrane, can indicate illness when visible. It normally stays fully retracted and unseen in healthy cats. Cats do not prefer to be alone at all times. They bond strongly with humans and other animals, and can suffer from separation anxiety. White cats with blue eyes are not always deaf. Deafness linked to the W gene is common but not universal, and heterochromic cats may be only partially deaf. Cats do not mark territory only with urine. They also use scent glands on their cheeks, paws, and tail base to deposit invisible chemical markers. A cat eating very fast and vomiting is not always normal. It can signal dental pain, competitive anxiety, or gastrointestinal disorders requiring attention. Cats do not instinctively know how to use a litter box. Kittens must be introduced to it early, and adults can develop aversions from negative experiences. The idea that cats are universally aloof is a generalization. Personality varies widely by genetics, early socialization, and individual environment. Cats can develop anxiety disorders similar to those in humans and dogs, including OCD-like behaviors. Cats do not automatically get along with other cats, and introducing a new cat requires a careful. Casual contact with cats poses far lower toxoplasma transmission risk than handling raw meat. Lilies are severely toxic to cats and can cause acute kidney failure even in small doses. A many common house piloerection, when a cat's fur stands on end, is triggered by fear or aggression and is an involuntary response controlled by the nervous system. Cats do not need regular baths the way dogs do. Animals, they are self-grooming animals. Domestic cats and lions share approximately 95% of their DNA, yet behavioral and anatomical